I have been playing Total War games for years now, and honestly, whenever Creative Assembly announces something new, I always wonder how far they can really push this formula. I mean, when I saw Total War jump into Warhammer Fantasy, it felt bold, actually. But when this reveal dropped and I realized they were heading straight into the grimdark future of Warhammer 40,000, I honestly had to sit back for a second. Now it kind of feels like the series is finally letting itself go completely. And, that's what makes this exciting. So this is everything we know about this upcoming must-play game. So, Total War Warhammer 40,000 represents the most dramatic shift the franchise has ever taken, not just in setting, but in ambition. For the first time, Total War steps away from the grounded history and even from the fantasy battlefields of the old world and moves fully into the 41st millennium. When I first realized this was not just another Warhammer spin but a full sci-fi leap, it really clicked how big this moment is for the series. I mean, Creative Assembly is positioning this as a full rethinking of how Total War operates when the scale jumps from continents to star systems. Set during the era Indomitus, the game places players into a galaxy locked in an endless conflict, where survival is uncertain and war is constant. The familiar foundation of turn-based strategy paired with real-time battles is still intact, but everything around it has expanded outward. Instead of fighting over provinces and regions, players are now contesting entire planets, managing fleets that move across the void, and making decisions that affect not just armies on the ground, but entire worlds. At the campaign level, this galactic scale changes the rhythm of Total War in a meaningful way. I found this shift especially interesting because it finally pushes the series into territory that feels truly new. Players are no longer confined to a single landmass. War is waged across multiple planets, each acting as both a strategic asset and a battlefield. So what you do is you conquer worlds, develop them, and integrate them into your growing war economy. Fleets become a key part of movement and power projection, allowing you to shift forces between planets and exert pressure across different fronts. Resource management expands beyond simple income and growth, tying planetary control, fleet strength, and long-term expansion together. What really stands out to me, though, from a personal viewpoint, is the sense of consequence here. Losing a planet is not the same as losing a city. And when Creative Assembly talks about waging war on a galactic scale, it feels like they want every decision to carry weight, especially with the other option to escalate conflicts all the way to planet-destroying weapons. That strategic layer feeds directly into the heart of Total War, which is the battlefield itself. At launch, the game features 4 iconic Warhammer 40,000 factions, each designed to play fundamentally differently in both campaign and combat. Space Marines represent elite precision, with smaller numbers but overwhelming individual power. And I think this is where a lot of longtime 40k fans will feel right at home. Astra Militarum sits at the opposite end of the spectrum, built around scale and attrition, where massed infantry, tanks, and artillery slowly grind enemies down. Orcs bring chaos and momentum, relying on sheer numbers, unpredictable weapons, and constant aggression that never really lets up. And last, but definitely not the least, the Eldari offer a completely different rhythm, focusing on speed, psychic precision, and exploiting weaknesses before slipping away. These factions shape how you approach the campaign, how you fight battles, and how you recover when things start to go sideways. I mean, literally. Battles themselves lean heavily into the brutal identity of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Watching the reveal material, what stuck with me most was how destructive everything feels. Environments are no longer just static backdrops. Terrain can be reshaped by artillery fire, aerial strikes, and heavy weapons, creating new cover and forcing constant tactical adjustment. Units range from basic infantry to tanks, walkers, and massive war machines, each with a clear role on the battlefield. Reinforcements can be called in when pressure mounts, which makes battles feel less scripted and more reactive. Tactical abilities play a major role. from bombardments to targeted strikes that can break defensive lines or punish mistakes. It is very clear that this game is not aiming for clean, orderly combat. It wants battles to feel messy and costly, which fits the setting perfectly. One of the biggest changes comes through army customization, an area where Total War has traditionally been more restrained. Here, the freedom in offer feels like a direct nod to the tabletop roots of Warhammer 40,000. Players can name their warbands, choose color schemes, and apply heraldry that reflects either established lore or personal creativity. Beyond looks, you can actually shape how your army fights by tailoring tactics and combat philosophies that influence both campaign decisions and battlefield performance. I really like how this bridges the gap between strategy game and hobbyist mindset, letting players feel a stronger sense of ownership over their forces without turning the game into a sandbox without rules. The reveal trailer does a lot of work in selling this vision, actually. Introduced at the Game Awards by David Harbour, who is confirmed to portray a mysterious character in the game, the trailer leans into spectacle while still offering brief glimpses of gameplay. Seeing Ultramarines clash with Orcs immediately sets expectations for scale and tone, and even those short gameplay shots communicate how the game shifts between galactic strategy and ground-level conflict. For me, the trailer does not try to explain systems or mechanics in detail. Instead, it focuses on mood, scope, and confidence, which is exactly what a reveal like this should do. From a platform and development standpoint, though, Total War Warhammer 40,000 is also a milestone for the franchise. It is confirmed to release on PC, but it will also launch on PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, marking Total War's first appearance on modern consoles. That alone signals how important this entry is for Creative Assembly. While there's no release date yet, and many details are still being kept under wraps, what has been confirmed already suggests that this is not a cautious step forward. It feels like a deliberate attempt to redefine what Total War can be when its core systems are applied to a universe where war never ends and every victory comes at a cost. The more I look at what Total War Warhammer 40,000 is shaping up to be, the more it feels like a natural evolution rather than a risky gamble. It takes everything I've loved about the series and stretches it to a scale I never really expected to see. There's still a lot we don't know, but what's been revealed so far already feels ambitious in the best way. Let me know what you think about this leap into the 41st millennium in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more.